可以吗？嗨，台中的朋友们，你们好啊！我是第一次到台中，对这个城市的印象非常好，很干净，气候也很好。这几天跟乐团的排练，很默契啊，跟大家配合也很好，很愉快。关键是非常的愉快，排练的过程也很愉快。大家在欢乐当中啊，欢笑当中，找到音乐。那么明天的曲目很丰富啊，很丰富，有我们现代的美国作品长笛协奏曲，然后其他的都是德奥作品，像Richard Strauss、Mozart、Haydn，非常的丰富，期待大家的光临啊，期待大家的指正，谢谢。
Hi, I would like to say hello to all the Taiwanese people. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Mark Sparks, and I'm from the United States, from the city of St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm so happy to be here. So great to see Taiwan, such a beautiful country. And I've seen so many beautiful, smiling, happy people here in just a few days. And I have been treated so well by everybody. I want to thank the orchestra, National Taiwan Symphony Orchestra, which is a great orchestra, world-class orchestra, and Maestro Lee. I want to thank them for having me here. It's a great honor. And this week, we were very fortunate to be playing this flute concerto by Christopher Rouse. Christopher Rouse is an American composer, and he's a friend of mine, I'm lucky to say. And I feel the flute concerto is a very special work. I'm really happy to perform the piece anywhere in the world. And I think for the flute, it is one of the most significant pieces of writing that we have in the flute repertoire. Now, there are several reasons for this. First of all, the piece is very long. It's quite long for a flute concerto, about half an hour. The piece is in 5 movements, and it creates a large arch form. So there are 2 movements on the beginning and the end, and these are rather slow, very lyrical movements, and this is based on music from the British Isles. I don't know if you're familiar with any of that kind of music, but it's a very special kind of folk music with a lot of interesting history, very beautiful long melodies, and the flute is a very special instrument in the British Isles. Flute is very popular throughout the British Isles. And so they have a very special way of writing for the instrument, which Chris has captured perfectly. So the beginning and the end are very serene, very beautiful. The audience just loves them every time, these movements. Now, the second movement and the fourth movement, okay, these are fast, virtuosic movements in contrasting character, but they both have strong characterization of different kinds of motives. These are like what we call a scherzo movement in the symphonic repertoire, which usually has something like a connotation of sarcasm or a joke. And these movements are very exciting. They're very difficult, both for the flute and for the orchestra. I was just practicing the concerto before rehearsal, so I can be prepared. Now, the special thing about the concerto, the most memorable thing, is the middle movement, which is a very large, long elegy, which is sort of like a memorial type of music, or like a funeral. And as a matter of fact, the elegy in the flute concerto is a memoriam, and this is dedicated to the memory of a person named James Bulger, who, if you remember, in the 80s there was a sensational international news case in which little boy James Bulger was murdered by teenagers in Great Britain, and this made international news. It captured the attention of people around the world, and during the time that Chris was writing the concerto, he was thinking a lot about this very, very tragic and upsetting story, because his daughter was very young at the time. He was thinking about how precious life is and our children, and what a horrific story this was. And the movement is sort of a large memorial, in a general sense, to the preciousness of human life. So the concerto has a very deep, rather heavy sentiment at times, which is contrasted in all these different ways throughout the work. So, as you can see, it's a very significant work to be playing. My understanding is it has not been played here before, so I'm very honored to be able to present it, and I hope that I will do a good job. And I'm very much looking forward to the concert, and I hope to see so many of you there. And I want to thank you again for having me here, giving me such a wonderful welcome. Thank you very much.